Hey guys, it's Amina and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up because that would help me out so much, and make sure you're subscribed. Guys, we're growing and we're flourishing, so make sure you're part of the family because I will be posting more and more content. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be answering some of your questions as to how I broke into tech. I just want to give everyone who has messaged me a huge shout out. Like, I see all your messages, I see the comments. I just unfortunately I'm struggling to find the time to respond to every single person and give each person a thorough answer, and quite a lot of them are the same question, so I figured why not come on this channel and make a video answering all of your questions. That way, you know, you're getting a response, and not only just a response, but like a response that's also thoughtful and helpful for you. So I'm gonna do my best. Okay, so let's get right into this video. I'm really grateful also. If any of you are here from Instagram, welcome, because I started out with, I think I had 1,800 followers and now I'm at like 7,500, and I just never thought I would see that number. You know what I mean? And the fact that I can post questions and you guys actually give me answers. Like, before I would get like 1 or 2 answers from my friends. So thank you guys all for your responses. The fact that I even had to scroll to read all of the responses to the question on my story. Thank you. Okay, so I think quite a few of the questions are, how did I do it? How did I break into data analytics? And how did I get my software QA, quality assurance, if you don't know, engineer experience? So the thing is, the way I got into it was a little bit backwards and non-traditional, in the sense that I was a teacher. So let's take it back to 2021. I was a teacher. That was my 3rd year teaching, and I really did not want to continue to pursue teaching because I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do, and everyone I knew was in education, so it was hard for me to break out and make connections, especially when COVID happened, because we're all inside, and I didn't know anyone outside of the education sector who could help me get out, basically. And at least in the DC area, I want to say everywhere, your network is extremely important. Networking is a big thing here in the DC area. This is where the federal government is. A lot of people walking around are federal employees, so a lot of the social interactions here are around, what do you do? I feel like most conversations I have with people I meet are, what do you do? And we can talk about how annoying that is in a separate video, but that's just the nature of where I live, and I knew I had to capitalize on that sense of community in the DC area. So I decided to move from Baltimore, where I was teaching back in 2020, to the DC area, and then I got a job at a charter school teaching 8th grade science for a year, and that was from 2020 to 2021. And while I was doing that, I was signing up for career fairs. I mean, COVID restrictions were starting to lessen back then, and trying to network. I am part of the Teach for America, or I guess I was a part of the Teach for America Corps. I started looking for people who did Teach for America and who also worked in the corporate world, and I just started adding people because they could see I did TFA, and they're more likely to accept my request. And yeah, I was just reaching out to people. I think I said in a previous video, don't be shy to find people on LinkedIn and just reach out to them. You don't have to know them through anything. If they're doing something that you want to do, that would be a great conversation starter. Hey, I see you do this, I've really been interested in this, can you offer me some guidance, and go from there. So I built my network, and then I was meeting people virtually at first because I'm very introverted. I think I went to 1 or 2 career fairs on a Saturday as well. Yeah, just meeting people, and eventually I was able to land a contracting job that was more administrative in nature with a small company in Arlington, Virginia. And so I did that for just under a year, like maybe about 8 months, and then I got the opportunity to interview at Deloitte because, again, somebody I knew who was at Deloitte was so gracious and kind, and I had been communicating with her. We built a relationship, and I had known her for a long time, but we weren't that close. And she, you know, may Allah always bless her, really changed my life. And she referred me for a role, and you know, I worked really hard on like the interview process. And you are switching careers, please don't think like I have no experience. Yes, you do. Like every job has transferable skills. So as a teacher, I was a leader, right? I had to lead workshops for some of my coworkers. We did this like rotation thing. I led the classroom. Obviously, like you have to be a leader in a classroom, otherwise the kids will eat you alive. Organized, I multitasked, I delivered on time. I did, you know, a lot of public speaking. I presented every single day for 3 years. What else? Yeah, I did a lot of things as a teacher that translated well to the consulting side, consulting world, because you still make PowerPoints, you still present, you still do research. I also have a degree in public health / health sciences. Same thing basically. Did a lot of data analysis. One of my capstone projects was conducting a study on a population at my university and running that statistical analysis. I was also a TA for a health statistics course. So all of those things coupled together, you just have to be able to sell yourself. You have to be able to sit down and like display those skills in your resume, and in these interviews be like, yeah, I might not have industry experience, but I've done this, I've done that. You know what I mean? Like make it transfer over to the role that you're currently trying to do, because you do have experience, okay? Just because you didn't do this before doesn't mean you can't do it. So I think a lot of these companies want to see like your willingness to learn, your willingness to, you know, pick up things quickly, like etc., stuff like that. So please, like, don't downplay yourself. I never thought I would be able to get out of teaching. I'm like, God, I'm just a teacher. What else can I do? But you can do a lot. A lot of what I went through as a teacher helped me grow, and I made sure to explain that in my interviews. And so when I eventually got hired at Deloitte, you have to find a project. So you get hired, but you still have to look for work. And so I ended up landing a role as a software like QA engineer. I didn't know that going into it. I thought it was more of like a business analyst role, but a business analyst literally means anything. So whatever the project needs were, I volunteered myself. They needed someone to test scripts and the functionality of them, validate what the developers were putting out to fix bugs, etc. I said, sign me up. It was very uncomfortable. It was very hard. I had to do a lot of learning, and it paid off because I eventually was able to do it. And I had to, communicate to them like, I'm worth taking this chance. I am very eager to learn. IT is like my passion. I really want to learn more. I want to get more exposure. Y'all heard that ping? My experience with data analytics, I eventually switched projects, and so now I'm doing more data analysis, and my university degree is helping me out a lot because I am already familiar with working with large data sets, cleaning them, coding, analyzing, identifying findings, putting that into a presentation, reports, etc. So I already have that kind of experience from university. Of course, that was like 5 years ago now. The way I got into this field was by capitalizing on the skills I already had, presenting them in a way that recruiters can understand that I am able to do this work, and building my network. If it wasn't for Allah, if it wasn't for my family, if it wasn't for the people that I met, people who helped me along this journey, I would not be in this position at all. And another thing I also did is to get that first contracting job outside of teaching. I actually took a huge pay cut. I took a massive pay cut, and I moved back home with my family and living rent-free It was hard. It was definitely hard, but I knew where I wanted to be, and I knew, you know, financially wouldn't be responsible for me to be out here living on my own, taking such a huge pay cut, and I have a family home right there. So yeah, so just know that, you know, it's not always going to be linear. I never thought like I would be 3 years out of school going back to making the money I made my first year out of school, but it was worth it because now it's paid off, alhamdulillah, and very grateful. So that's just my personal experience, and I just wanted to put that out there. I am working on some data analytics certifications right now, as well as one cybersecurity one, just because I've like always wanted to do that. Not for any reason, doesn't relate to anything I'm doing, but why not? I'm, you know, eventually you guys are gonna find out I'm a nerd, so let me just tell you, I love to learn, I love to study, I love to like pass something, and like that feeling after it is so good. I feel so good about myself, which is another discussion. I shouldn't be validating how I feel about myself by how well I do in these exams, but you know, 20 plus years of conditioning will do that to you. And yeah, that's all I really have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be working on putting together a vlog. I think some people wanted to see like a morning routine. I've definitely posted a morning routine on TikTok and Instagram, but I want to make a long form one for YouTube. Way too much has been going on lately, so please give this video a big thumbs up. That helps me out so much, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.